Black Giraffe made this.
But it's to have a good time and have fun with the person that you obviously feel comfortable enough to do or explore these things with. Whether it's a relationship situation, or if it's just a friends with benefit situation, or if it's a one-night stand situation. Obviously, either way, y'all two or more feel comfortable enough to do said things. Hey, I'm trying to be all inclusive here as much as I possibly can. There's a lot of things that happen out here, man. It is 2026. It is a lot going on out here in the world.
Welcome to After Playlist, where we help you discover music that you can feel. I am one of your hosts, Brandon Lee.
And I am Terry Yo. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Speaking of music that you can feel, today we're going to be talking about that nasty music that makes your bed rock, get your bodies in the groove, and helps you find the motion of the ocean. That's right, we're talking about our favorite sexy songs to play in the bedroom. From slow jams to upbeat bangers, wink, wink. We have a wide selection of great music that we're going to be discussing today to help spice up any night. Or
any
day,
night.
Or morning.
Any day, any morning, any parking lot.
Any work break, just...
any convenience store, bathroom, changing room. Whenever the mood strikes.
Whenever and wherever. That's right.
That's right.
And we're going to be referring to songs from the playlist throughout the episode. So if you haven't already listened to the songs that we are about to discuss, we do have direct links to the music playlist in the description, aka the show notes, for your listening pleasures. For real though, go look at the show notes and or listen to the playlist if you haven't already, or if you're just curious about this track list that we're going to be discussing, because that's where it's at. Literally right below.
Exactly.
Hit the more on this below the episode you're listening to. It'll show everything for you.
That's right. And before we dive into the episode, let's go through our regular After Playlist disclaimers. These are just the same ones. Nothing has changed. Number one, we will respect everyone's opinion regardless of how wrong and awful it may be. Number two, please be cool and protect your tool. After Playlist is not responsible for any pregnancies, that may happen while listening to this playlist and or episode. Specifically during the episode, if you get pregnant during this episode, you can always name the kid after us, but we ain't got nothing to do with it.
In fact, I think you have to name it after us if that happens. But
oh, that'd be so cute. Like little baby after Playlicia. That'd be so cute. Anyway, moving on. Number three. This playlist is approximately probably an hour and 12 minutes long. Again, After Playlist is not responsible if you can't finish the entire playlist in 1 or 2 sessions. It's not our fault. We just got, too many good bangers. You might only make it through the first 2 or 3 songs. This is a safe space. We ain't trying to judge, but, the ideal is to have the whole playlist, go through the whole motion of the playlist. But, if you could only get through, a couple songs at a time, no hate, but step it up. And number 4, we're just talking about the music, not the artist's real life, personal or cancelable issues. So on that note, any real life issues we're dealing with lately, bro? Anything going on that, potentially could affect your listening to the playlist at all over this listening session?
On my end, nothing really. I mean, I am in a fairly serious committed relationship at this point. So I guess maybe that, I'm not forever alone and feeling spiteful with this topic. So I guess you could say that I had a positive outlook on this playlist.
Okay.
What about you?
I would say going into this playlist, it definitely put me in a mindset of recent activities or times when I listened to certain songs. So I definitely had a lot of flashback moments. The problem is I listened to the playlist at work. So I definitely got distracted at work.
Yeah.
A couple times I was just like, oh yeah, I remember when I played this one song at that one time at that one place at that one day. Oh, this song reminds me of that person. Oh, dang, that other song reminded me of that one time, I was on a ceiling fan and things, things like that. So I definitely kind of got distracted. But, overall, I still would say it was a good experience.
Okay. Well, lastly, before we dive right into the discussion, if you're enjoying the podcast, please be sure to give us a like and subscribe to the podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, or wherever it is you get your podcasts. We are literally on all of them. That is the easiest way to share and support the show. So without further ado, man, let's get freaky.
Yeah, let's get into it. Now, before we get to the freaky dicky of it all, I had to be the person that has to kind of bring down the mood just a little bit. But I did find it interesting. I was curious about the link between like music and sexual intercourse. So I did like a wee little bit, like the tiniest bit of research, and I found some interesting findings.
I saw you put this in the script. I'm actually super interested to hear what you have to say on this, because this is something I did not think to look into at all.
Yeah. I mean, for sure, because probably had other things going on, but I digress. So, the scientific link between music and intimacy. Researchers suggest that integrating music into intimate settings significantly enhances both the physiological arousal as well as the emotional connection. So basically, the listening to music triggers your brain's reward system to release dopamine, aka pleasure, while simultaneously lowering your cortisol, aka your stress level. So basically, you're getting the happy feeling, and you're also reducing your stress levels. So it's kind of like it's a win-win.
They pair very well together.
Absolutely, and also they say a fast tempo or a bass heavy track can act as a aphrodisiac, aka increasing your heart rate and breathing. The other thing that I found that was interesting as well was they say that music helps couples align their movements through rhythm and can increase the duration of the sexual activity to up to like 37%. So not only are you vibing to the beat, like almost like what? That's almost half.
I mean, that's a third.
Yeah,
that's over. Sure. That's over a third.
Yeah, over a third. Longer. There we go. Yeah, so you got over a third longer sexual duration while listening to music. And the other thing is they said, by reducing the stress hormones, it actually provides better communication and emotional vulnerability, which leads to, higher levels of reported intimacy. So music on its own is is such a, like, for me at least, it's definitely like a stress reliever or just kind of relaxes your mind. So when your mind and your body is being relaxed while being destroyed by somebody that you love, I mean, what better place to be?
Respectfully destroyed.
Yes, respectfully destroyed, ripped to shreds, split in half. However
shreds, you say.
I mean, however you get down. This is a safe space. Now, this is something that I found that was absolutely hilarious to me. They said recommended soundscapes. I don't know who these recommended. I don't know who chose these recommendations. I don't know the sources. I don't know the pool that they chose from, but apparently they say having sex to classical music is associated with higher levels of satisfaction. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to bang the Bach.
That would so distract me, I feel like.
Literally that. So I'm just like, that's not really, I don't want a symphony while somebody is. Anyway, so.
There's so many ways you could have taken that. Like 4 different things popped in my head about what you were about to say there. So maybe anyway was probably the best move.
Exactly. And then, as I said earlier, rhythmic or beat-driven kind of music, it definitely allows the couples to kind of synchronize and kind of, basically fuck to the beat. And the lower frequency is ideal for more like sensual and more tantric stuff, like more like the frequency if it's like below, like around like 417 hertz or whatever. So the deeper the bass, the deeper the experience. We'll just go with that. And of course, just a general pro tip advice for anyone who is who enjoys having music playing in the background while having sex. Just make sure that the music element is something that's agreed upon with you and said partner, and that you guys are vibing on the same sound and element. I like Unsi Unsi, but the person I'm with may not like Unsi Unsi. They may want something like more chill and relaxed, or not at all. Or there's somebody who wants to headbang while giving head. So, it all depends. So you just have to kind of gauge the genre with the person and hopefully make a playlist that vibes with both people's or more, or how many people y'all got going on. Just everybody's sensibilities involved in the situation, ultimately.
Okay. The more you know, man. That was actually, again, I didn't think at all to like look into scientifically how I just know it's, personally, it's like a good, I want to say like lubricator, but I feel like that's too on the nose.
I mean, on the nose, on the chest.
It's a good like emotional lubricator.
I mean,
I'll set you up for that.
You did. I had to go there. But yeah, I mean, it definitely is. It definitely sets the mood for sure. And it can transition the mood as well into sexy time. So again, it's definitely subjective because again, not everybody's music taste aligns. I remember there was a thing that went around on Reddit a couple years back that this guy had this horrible song on his sex playlist. And everybody like criticized him so much for it. But if it works for that person, go for it. To each their own. So,
like you said, just communicate. Make sure you're both on the same page on whatever beat you're picking.
Absolutely. So, speaking of being on the same pages and picking beats and whatnot, we each had a homework assignment.
Yes. I'll go ahead and just admit I was unable to complete my homework assignment. I did not complete my homework assignment.
No excuses. Your paperwork you were supposed to submit your homework assignment with full video and great detail. Cite your sources. How dare you not complete your assignment? The people are so disappointed.
So
you automatically lose 10 points.
You assigned both of us. The homework assignment was for us to literally take this playlist for a test drive, so to speak. And yeah, I was unable to do that. I did play a few songs. Part of it was, I definitely go back to disclaimers, man. We got so many songs. Like,
that's so
even
true.
If I had been able to listen to it, I would have only got through like one song, and then like I would have had to. We have like 19 songs, or like what, 18 songs, something.
19 now. It was 18.
19 songs. That would be like 22 different sessions for me, dude. Like.
I know that's right. Seriously, like, but by the time I hit the play button, it's over.
I mostly joke on that note, but yeah, I was able to play a few of the songs.
Yeah, yes.
For my girlfriend, just I'm a good holy Christian boy, man. I don't know what you're talking. I've never done anything like what we're talking about.
Absolutely not. We're pure angels here. There's nothing to see here. Mom, Dad, turn off this episode,
please. But I did get one note on one specific song, and then that was about it. So I'm gonna say I kind of failed the homework assignment, but I am interested if you were more successful in your homework assignment.
Okay, so to be fair, I did somewhat look ahead and kind of was already preparing my homework before completing this playlist. So in the initial iteration of my picks for this playlist, I completed my homework assignment twice. Now, again, this is primarily to my picks, and then once you got yours in there,
oh la la.
Okay, let's put a pause in that. But once you got yours in there, I was able to complete my homework assignment as well. And it had no bearing on I didn't get any commentary on the music, so it wasn't distracting at all. So that was good.
I mean, yeah, I've definitely, for my picks, I've used them before, and I have never really gotten any commentary. So I guess I can say the same thing on that front.
Yes. And then some of my newer picks, I have not had a chance to complete the assignment in a while per se, but gauging upon anyone who has the luxury of completing a homework assignment with me, they should know that what to expect. So it shouldn't be anything like completely off guard. For the most part.
Yeah. Okay.
Cool. All right. So you guys can go to blackgiraffemadethis.com to check out Brandon Lee's full homework assignment in its full glory over there
4K.
in 4K resolution. You can enjoy all 19 seconds. I'm just kidding. But yeah, it's interesting. So
Well, okay. So, we didn't really get, I guess, much feedback or criticisms, but like, to you, what makes, and this is also, of course, going to be like so highly subjective, but I guess for you specifically, in your opinion, what makes a good bedside beat? Like, what do you look for in a song that you would put on a playlist like this?
For sure. Okay, so for me, going in, like, what makes a good fuckable song, aka bedside beat, for me, it definitely has to do with the tempo. And initially, I wasn't thinking about this, but after reading the scientific information, it totally makes sense that the frequency matters. So I'll usually like something that's like mid-tempo, a little bit deeper, in the frequency, and something that like is just like very soothing. So like sonically, it's soothing, which allows me to get out of my head and be more in the moment. But like it's just the reverberation and the bass of it all. That definitely helps. Don't want anything too slow because then it will, mess around, put me to sleep. But at the same time, I do want something not so upbeat, so distracting to where like I'm focused on the song itself. So yeah, I found that interesting. What about you?
I actually agree pretty much with everything you just said. Just one other thing for me that I think is very important is the singer specifically needs to have like a sultriness to them. Like if it's like, the music itself can be very, very sexy, but then it's like if you come in and it's like just some crazy, weird, super, like, I don't know, out of sync vocals or something that just doesn't really match that vibe, it definitely can like pick me out a little bit. Like I don't know why that is. Probably because I'm so like lyric heavy, and the lyrics themselves. Well, go ahead.
No. We're on the same wavelength. I was about to ask you that.
Yeah. So
I think you're about to say it now.
That's another thing. It's like the lyrics themselves need to be like, because obviously you're not just sitting there like actively listening, like you said several times so far on this podcast. Like it is more of like a background thing, right? There's kind of, you're not like hyper focusing on it, but every now and again your attention is going to drift into the music, I feel like. And so whenever those small moments happen before you drift back, it needs to be whatever lyrically is being sung in that moment. I feel like needs to not be a mood killer. It needs to like kind of stay in that mood for me.
Okay.
That's also like pretty pertinent.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, I was literally about to answer that same question right as you were literally about to explain it. Because like historically through the podcast, you're more lyrically focused. I'm more production focused. So a lot of times I have in the past like 100% tuned out the lyrics or was too young to even understand what the lyrics were even talking about. But I like the song because of the beat and the vibe of it. So I'm gonna jump into the playlist real quick. Like the first, not the first song that I chose, but one of the first songs that I chose in my original batch, and then the first song that leads off this playlist, "Freak Me" by the group Silk. I was a young kid when that song came out. That was like early 90s. And I'm out there singing with my whole chest. I want to lick you up and down till you say stop. Didn't know what the hell I'm talking about licking. I'm just singing the song because, I just like the way, like those, the harmonies and the way Lil G basically oversang his ass off the whole song, just was like so much passion involved with it. And now that I'm older, I'm just like, wow, number one, I really shouldn't be singing that song.
Not as a kid, probably.
Not as a kid. And then number two, I should not have heard that song as frequently as I did. So that
was a different time.
Well, not even that. It's just the times where I heard it, I'm like, it's 11 o'clock at night. Why is this song blaring from my uncle's, or why are they playing this song over there at the neighbor's house? I'm like, oh. So obviously that song is, in hindsight, they were putting that song to use. But then I was like, why is this song so ubiquitous in my head? Other than it being like genuinely a good song, but it's definitely just like one of those things where I'm like, oh wow. It just kind of,
So-
hindsight, you think about it.
I was actually curious about, is Silk like a 90s all dude R&B group? Is that what they? Is that,
Mhm.
I never heard of them before this.
Actually, you have. They were, again, to be fair, the R&B playlist was 1,000 hours long.
Yeah, I think it's massive.
but they were featured on that playlist as well. And actually, there's another artist that was featured on that playlist as well. That's on this playlist too.
The Baby.
I'm
joking.
No,
I'm joking.
No. Actually, I stand corrected. This artist I'm thinking about wasn't featured on that particular playlist, but she has appeared on another playlist that we have done. So this is her second appearance on this, but we'll get to her in a little bit. I'm curious. Out of my picks, did you have any ones that any standouts?
Yeah, actually, a few. Freak Me, the one you just were talking about, definitely was like a very strong opener that
Hell yeah.
just like fit the theme so on point. I mean, I'll be honest, pretty much all of yours are like super on theme. Like they work for this like super well, in my opinion. I do feel like we both kind of lean towards, like you said, like kind of slower, lower frequency, kind of more bass heavy.
Yes. Now my core. Okay, so for the listeners out here, the first 10 were mine, and then the last 9 were Brandon's picks.
Yes.
All right. So for my section, I kind of structured it in a way that makes sense for me, as far as a flow, transitional period, and so forth. So for my picks, it kind of. Okay, so I struggled initially with my picks because in my mind I was setting up the playlist to be a transition into the bedtime situation versus you're just getting into the bedtime situation. Because for me, I love music. So music more than likely is already playing in some form or fashion. So I don't want to just like make an abrupt turn. My thing was like, oh, let me just put this playlist on, add this to what's already planned, and kind of segue you into it.
Mm-hmm.
And then I realized I was overthinking it. So I was like, okay, this playlist is what it is. Hit play, Silk, right in your face, Freak Me.
It's for when you're already in it.
Exactly. In my mind, being the ADHD person that I am, I'm like overanalyzing. I'm like, okay, well, I got to have a segue, da-da-da-da-da. So that's how I initially did it. Then once I scratched that plan, I kind of wanted to keep the flow, but also I don't want to tuck her out. So my portion kind of goes, the mood has already started. Things are getting a little intimate. Then it kind of gets a little romantical. And then I want to pick it up again, for round 2, fight. And then finish out, with the conclusion. So that's how I organize mine.
I'll be honest, I kind of just threw all mine on there.
I mean, again, fair enough.
all of mine pretty much came from a giant playlist that I already had.
Damn.
That I usually will just hit shuffle and just let it ride.
I mean, how big is this playlist, dog?
About 40, 50 songs, somewhere in that range.
Damn.
I'm adding to it more every day. Several of these songs are added to it now, by the way. Several of like your picks.
Oh, nice.
So to answer your question a minute ago, a couple of the standouts at the other sentence for me. 7, the second song, I like that one. That was a good bop.
Okay.
You're My Music, Brian Culbertson. That one was definitely, like you were saying, like a more romantic, but it's a very sweet, slow, just happy romantic song. It's very very sweet. I like that one. And then your final song, Till Your Legs Start Shaking by Sleepy Brown. That one, I like that one a lot too.
Yes, sir.
I mean, again, I pretty much liked all of them, but those were some of my favorites, I will say.
Nice.
There wasn't one I didn't like, I will say that.
Okay, that's good, because I usually I feel like I always have one that's kind of like So, but I'm glad I was on theme with this one.
Okay, so I will say the one note I got was on one of your picks.
Okay,
it was "SexBeat."
Yes,
by Usher, Lil Jon, and Ludacris, because it fakes out It
Yes.
starts out very slow with the piano and it's like very romantic and sweet sounding, and then it comes in with like the more rap beat.
Yes.
And yeah, the note was that would totally like kill my mood and
Interesting.
and distract me with the abrupt change.
Interesting. Okay. All right. That's fair. I can see that. I respect that note. I have not had that happen, but I understand that note. And the reason I wanted that, because again, I wanted that transition from, okay,
Yeah,
you know,
from You're My Music back into
round two. Because, you know, like, cause, I mean, you know, how much should I divulge? Okay, fuck it. Most adults can relate to this situation. Round one, that's usually the appetizer round. That's, you know, just kind of, you know, things happen. You get the appetizer, and you're like, okay, let me kind of recover. And that's where I wanted to kind of have that brief moment of You're My Music. I love music. Music is my heart. I figured that'd be like a nice little intimate moment. And then I wanted to fake out. It's like, okay, now that that's over with, let's go. Let's get right back into it. And that's why I want to pick
engines back up.
That's it. Like I want to pick it up again and like, okay, let's go. So that's why I enjoyed that fake out with that one, with that song in particular. And that's why I wanted to kind of keep those two back to back. Speaking of, while we're on You're My Music, Brian Culbertson, remember him?
I recognize the name, but I couldn't remember exactly what.
He was on the Instrumental Impact, Sensuality, that jazz song. Yeah. So he produced the song, playing the jazz. He's the one tickling the ivories and all of that. And then Noel Gourdin is the guy that's singing on the song.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to ask you the same question you asked me.
Mm-hmm.
So, were there any of my picks that stood out to you that you especially liked or connected or related to or enjoyed using?
Yeah. So, okay. So, I would say about half of your picks I was already familiar with. So, that kind of, I don't know, I was, It's not that I don't like those songs. It's just that I've heard them so much that I kind of, it kind of doesn't have that newness that I would prefer. However, the ones that definitely stood out to me were ones that either I 100% forgot about, and then I realized how awesome it is, or there were artists I didn't even know anything about. So, Damn Right with JENNIE and Childish Gambino. Oh. I totally forgot about that song, and then once she added on there, and I was like, why is this song kind of? I looked at the art and I saw the name. I was like, I'm kind of familiar with Childish Gambino stuff. I'm like,
This song was the inspiration for this episode.
It really was. And then once it came on, and I was like, okay, because like, here's the thing. So I saw the name and I was like, okay, I feel like I heard the song somewhere before. I couldn't remember. And then I was like, okay, whatever. So then I forgot about it again, moved on, Go for Spring. And then the song came on. I was like, God damn, who the hell is this? Then I looked at it. I was like, oh shit, that's Damn Right. I was like, okay. And that got bumped right back up into my more recurring rotation. I was like, damn, I forgot how good this song was.
Yeah, I'm glad you point that one out, because out of my picks, that's my own personal standout for my selection.
Oh, hell yeah. Yeah, definitely that one.
I love that song so much.
Absolutely. Now, the people that I didn't know anything about and actually kind of like it was Falling by Opia. I'd never heard of them before. And here's the thing, like, because I am such a, I like to have a wide variety of genres and da-da-da-da-da. And I wanted to kind of reach out and see if there was some other stuff. And I was like, you know what? I got to keep it authentic. Let me kind of keep it within my wheelhouse that I'm like, I know works for me, instead of like trying to go and find something that has a little bit more rock, a little bit more, I guess, alternative kind of sound. And I'm so glad you put that on there, because I was like, I wanted to include that because, again, that's who I am. I like a variety of different things, and I want to be just pigeonholed to just strictly like 90s R&B, because that's not who I am.
Right.
So that's all came out, and I was like, okay, all right, okay, I'm fucking with this. So that's another one that stood out. And then lastly, the other one that stood out to me was Bad Intentions with old girl. What's her name? Niykee
Heaton.
Yeah. So I don't know who she is, never heard of her at all. But just the fact that Migos was able to kind of get on this. And here's the thing, I'll openly admit, I was one of the biggest Migos haters initially because I was like, who the hell are these? Just mumbling and da da da. And I just like I hated that one.
I'm right there with you on that. If you are someone who just really does still not like the Migos, there is a version of that song without the Migos, where it's just her part.
Okay, I wouldn't recommend that version because here's the thing.
I wouldn't either, and that's why I didn't put it on the playlist. I'm just letting people know.
Yes. Yes, you guys, know that it exists without the Migos, but we're gonna pretend that version doesn't exist at all because the Migos make this song what it is. And I love that contrast between her and Migos actually doing their thing on this type of beat.
Yeah,
I was kind of shocked, honestly. Because again,
hold on, let me see. It's kind of older too.
Yeah. Because Takeoff is still in there.
2015, 2016.
Yeah. R.I.P. Takeoff. But yeah, it's just like hearing their delivery on this type of track, and then her singing. It's just that weird dichotomy, like juxtaposition. God, words are hard for me today, y'all. But yeah, I that was one of my joints. Now the ones that I've heard ad nauseum, Jhené Aiko, I like that song, but I've heard it too many times. Snooze by SZA, I've heard that way too many times. Muni Long, Hours and Hours, I've heard that song for hours and hours and hours. Again, love those songs, love those ladies. I hear it too much.
See, all of those songs are like literally just within the last year I heard them for the first time.
Oh, bless your heart.
So they were still relatively new to me, even though I know that they're like mega popular just based on like the amount of listens they have.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, to be fair, I'm in a unique situation where I have the pleasure of listening to music all day at work and having the pleasure of DJing or letting other people DJ. And I tend to work with a lot of Black women, and these are the songs that they play at work. So
they be playing On the Way by Jhené Aiko.
Yeah,
at work.
I mean, so sometimes, hey,
that song's pretty nasty to have at work, man.
We don't hit the clean button. It's explicit all the way sometimes. And then every now and then we put on like a YouTube playlist or whatever, and like they'll have that song on there, or at least take a snippet of it. But On the Way though, I like I like how my portion ends with, so your legs start shaking, and then we go right back to, hey, Pussy Fairy's back.
Yeah.
I like that one. Yeah. So those are my pick. 1,000 Hours, Ella Bay. I mean, I like Ella Bay. Like she's a talented artist. The only thing that annoys me about her songs is she always has to talk to you at the end of every song. That's the only thing that drives me crazy.
I'm not listening to her a bunch, but she does do that one on this one for sure.
I'll guarantee almost every song she's like, there's like a little snippet or interlude, or she's gonna talk to you after every song. I'm like, okay, Ella, like the song is over. But like, I mean, but I get it, that's her thing, and I appreciate the creativity of it all. But to me, just like I'm like trying to blend into the next song, and then like it kind of just like stops the transition. I'm like, ugh. Like if I could just cut that little snippet out and just let it flow into the next song, we're good.
Well, the other thing I want to talk about is kind of how all of our songs lean sonically, but we've kind of already touched on that. And the fact that they're all like slower paced.
Yes and no.
You have a couple. I feel like pretty much all of mine are.
Yes. I noticed that yours has that same vibe pretty much all throughout. Is like almost like the same mid-tempo range, varying degrees of like bass heaviness, but it's usually like a steady, a steady vibe, with the exclusion of Damn Right. Damn Right kind of comes in kind of hard, but I like that one because once the Pussy Fairy shows up, you got to go to Damn Right and immediately. So that's par for the course. But from that point on, everything else is kind of like that same kind of just smooth riding the wave, motion of the ocean.
The vast majority of my own personal songs for this type of playlist, right, are all in that vein. Like undoubtedly, I know that about myself. I don't know. Like I guess based on like what you were saying with like the scientific and everything, like just that the rhythm of that is like easy to match, while also you can like you can like speed up the tempo without it like break. Like I don't know, again, like you mentioned, like if you don't want to have like a super fast tempo earlier, whenever I think, because like that can kind of take you out of it.
Okay, so this is where we differ, I think, in philosophy.
I mean, I'm okay with like a little bit higher tempo, but I'm talking about like, I don't know. For me, Like you mentioned Uzi Uzi. I couldn't have like a full on Uzi Uzi song. It would definitely like take me out of it a little bit.
Oh no, like I consider that a challenge. Like to me, that's fun. So I had a very late admission to this playlist, and that's because the baby was taking forever to release his fucking song. The song has been out for a while, but he finally dropped it out all the streaming platforms. Pop that thing. And to me, like those kind of songs are fun because, like, to me, like for me personally, I have a good sense of humor. At least I feel, and like even in that moment, if you're again have the pleasure to be with me at that particular point in time, I'm gonna have fun while we're doing what we do. And to me, like for that tempo to kind of increase, like oh okay, challenge accepted, let's go. Like so, I want to match the beat as long as I can. So if it's the first 3 seconds or it's the whole song, let's go for it. You know, I do appreciate the baby. I do appreciate the baby making that song like on the 2 minutes because that's about.
And if it was longer than that, it would definitely kind of overstay its welcome. Just a little bit. I mean, that was literally like a very, very like today. You added that earlier today before we got on to record this. So I only got to listen to that like a couple times, but I respect the idea that. You know, I guess I tend to lean more on the romantic kind of slower paced side, just in general. But there is definitely something to be said about it's supposed to be a fun time. You're supposed to be having fun. And I think, even whether it's like, no, I'm not necessarily saying that like this song or these types of songs like will do this, but it's not a bad thing if you like have to stop and like take a moment to laugh. Right.
Yeah, for sure.
Like if you have a song that like kind of just brings you joy in the moment like that, even if it does kind of interrupt the rhythm, why not?
Yeah, exactly. And to me, like, and if it interrupts the rhythm portion of it, at least it will elevate the intimacy portion of it because you guys are sharing a moment together.
Yeah. Right.
So to me, so it's like a yin and a yang, and again, if you're fortunate enough to be in that particular situation with whoever you are with, the whole thing, the whole vibe, but the whole purpose of it all, other than, reproducing and sustaining life on Earth, but it's to have a good time and have fun with the, person that you obviously feel comfortable enough to do or explore these things with, whether it's a relationship situation or if it's just a friends with benefits situation or if it's a one night stand situation. Obviously, either way, y'all 2 or more feel comfortable enough to do said things. Hey, like I'm trying to be all inclusive here as much as I possibly can. There's a lot of things that happen out here, man. It is 2026. It is a lot going on out here in the world. Speaking of a lot going on, I didn't intentionally do this because again, we're just focusing on the music and not the artist's real life issues or whatever. But just to put that out there for people who may or may not know, we do got LGBTQIA representation on this playlist through my picks. Again, was not intended, but because I just like the songs and the songs were good. Worst Behavior by K1 featuring Kehlani.
I like that one.
Oh man, when I heard that at work when I was listening to the YouTube playlist, and I was like, holy shit. I was like, this shit go hard. And then I immediately added to the playlist, and then I started listening to it from that point on.
For me, that one's like, also because of like where it's placed kind of on the playlist, it's like linked, or it's very similar. It's like paired up in my head, right, with Bad Intentions a little bit.
Mm-hmm. It is. And I almost wanted to intermingle like our songs, but I was like, I want to kind of keep the flow there. So, K1 and Kehlani representing the ladies on that one. And then David Archuleta, Inside Out, representing the guys in that situation. So either way, it's a good song. And both of them are great songs. I just want to throw that out there if someone were looking for something like that, if they require that. Another song, one of my picks I wanted to call attention to that I foreshadowed earlier, an artist that we've had on a previous playlist that you may or may not have remembered.
Adina Howard?
Yes. Remember that one?
That's another name. I was like, I know that name from something, but I couldn't remember where.
Yeah, that was on the one we had the playlist battle, the best cover to cover, the Freak Like Me remake. Yeah. So
okay. Yeah.
So this song was like a unreleased song from back in, I want to say either the late 90s or early 2000s. I think I want to say late 90s because I am who I am. And again, you know how this podcast works. I do apologize, but that is a secret Timbaland joint. So Timbaland did the drums on that track. And another producer, I assume, because it's hard to get the credentials, but he did acknowledge that he did the drums on that one. I'm not sure if he helped out with the chord progression or not, but that's another one when we're talking about the tempo and the vibe. I like how that mixes up. So when you listen to that song, it's smooth, stop, and then pick it up, stop, smooth out. So and it goes like that throughout the whole thing. So to me, like that's the kind of the vibe of like, okay, we got romantical, the whole 7 talking your shit, whatever. I'm gonna fuck you 7 days a week. Which that one caught me off guard. Jumping back to 7 real quick.
That one caught me. I think that's why I like it. Is like the first time listening to the playlist, I was just like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
First of all, I was like, okay, and forgive me, I know a little bit about the K-pop world, but I'm not really into it like that. But that was like one of the first records where I've heard like a K-pop like singer like use profanity, like being explicit. So I was like, oh, pop kind of got dirty over here a little bit. Okay, I see you. And then in doing my research, I didn't know dude was from BTS. Had no freaking idea. So that was like his solo record. So
I didn't know that either, but
yeah, but just
makes sense.
Just to think though, like BTS, one of the biggest K-pop groups in recent memory in the world, was like, yeah, I'm gonna do a song about fucking my chick with Latto.
Yeah.
Slow clap. More props to you. Love it.
Slow clap.
Yeah, slow clapping them cheeks. Sorry. But yeah, so I thought that was dope. But yeah, just the Sexual Needs song. I've had that in my arsenal for the longest time, but it was like a bootleg version. And then once it finally became available on streaming, I was like, hell yeah. And it's just that beat's just that's the one song out of my picks that I might get distracted in the middle of something because I just love that beat so much. And that's where my producer brain takes over. And something like that.
The beat, it's very infectious, which is what you want, I feel like.
Yeah.
Okay, so I will say, I did like the song, but there's one of your picks. I will say, for me, like personally, I don't think I'll ever add it to like my personal Bedside Beats playlists, and that's Real Love. Like,
oh no,
I really like the song, dude. I really like just listening to it. I really like it, but just like the vibe is like it's almost like too slow and romantic. And it's like,
what compared to You're My Music?
I think You're My Music because like again lyrically, like because I'm such same as you said earlier, because I'm such a music lover, like that has like deeper connotations for me.
Okay, that's fair.
Whereas like Real Love was just like kind of like, it was a sweet song, don't get me wrong, and I did enjoy listening to it, but then I'm just like, I don't know if I would like have this one, or if I did ever add it, it would definitely be just like a filler.
Yeah,
I wouldn't really be like super into it if it came on, I guess.
Okay,
but that's just me.
That's fair. I can respect that. Yeah, that one was a pick that appeared on another like playlist thing I was listening to, and I was like, oh, I like this song. And then I looked at the name, I was like, oh, I never heard that name before or seen it spelled.
Qendresa,
yeah. So I was just like, oh yeah, with a Q, you know what I'm saying? So I gotta represent my Q's or whatever. So I was like, okay, this is cool. And then I looked at the cover. I was like, why this random white chick on the cover? And then I finally did some research on it. And guess where she's from? The one thing this podcast we've discovered about me.
Oh, Britain.
Yes. She's from London. I was like, why does this keep happening to me? So apparently she's from London and she's a DJ, songwriter, producer. I want to say, for all intents and purposes, I believe she produced this track herself, or at least maybe has some other people help her with it. But this is her thing on her own. And the name Qendresa actually means like brilliance and strength or something like that, because I think it's like an Albanian name. So like that's her. I thought it was like an amalgamation of something or like a unique spelling or something. That's her literal. That's her
actual name.
That's her actual name. So I was like, oh yeah, hell yeah. So that one, I thought you would like that one because it did lean more in the R&B kind of feel. So it kind of harkened.
I did like the song. It's just for the theme of the playlist. I
didn't
necessarily
you don't have to yell how much you hate the song. I get it, but I'm just saying. So anyway, it's cool. I mean, I'm glad you got a chance to experience the song because I thought it was a dope song. And again, just hearing the R&B of it all, I didn't expect it to be this white chick from London. Again, I know we shouldn't profile, whatever, but just the shock factor of it all, I wasn't really expecting to. Her voice doesn't match the look. So at least in my mind.
I don't know. Just as we're talking about it, I'm thinking about it, and I kind of could see it being like either like an intro song on a playlist like this, where it's like, things haven't fully gotten hot and heavy yet, but you're like moving that way, or like kind of an outro situation, which kind of matches what you were trying to do with it being in the middle, like you said, like round one's over, recess, rest period, whatever you want to call it.
There you go, recess. I like that.
So it does still fit that. I could see it being used for that. I guess I don't ever really, for my playlist, like I said, I just kind of just hit shuffle and let it ride. I don't really think in that way. So maybe that's kind of why I didn't fully connect to it on this theme. But
okay, fair enough. Before we go any further, I definitely want to give a shout out to one of your picks that I really liked, and I feel like I skipped over it and I didn't mean to. Good and Plenty by Alex Isley. First of all, she's beautiful. Definitely want to throw it out there.
Never heard of her before this song popped up for me several months back.
Yeah, same here. I just happened to see a picture of her when what I presume is her. When I looked her up on Spotify, I was like, oh, okay.
Oh, now I gotta look her up. See if you have good taste or not. Oh, yeah, she's pretty.
Wow.
Okay, you got good taste, bro.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Okay, anyways, continue. Yes.
Yeah. So, yeah, as we both get distracted, like, yeah. Are we still recording? Yeah. but yeah, just it's a good song. Like I again, this is my first time hearing her music with you introducing her on the playlist. So I was like, okay, I fucks with this.
Have you heard of Masego before?
Okay, so I've heard of that. I've seen that name somewhere in the past, but I don't have like a definitive association, but like I've seen that name somewhere before in some song somewhere.
I only know like a couple of songs by him, or I kind of assume it's like was one dude. It could be a group. It's
a dude
of some kind,
or he's a dude. Sorry, not a it. But
there's a song. I'm blanking on it. Hold on. It's probably like it's got to be like one of his most popular.
I have a song by him I like.
Navajo.
Okay.
I thought she was an Indian. Navajo.
Okay.
That song you probably heard before.
Yes.
And he also does Tadao.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I had Tadao in my library already. So that's why I remember. Like I said, I remember seeing that name. I just could not definitively like put a like name on the like particular song or call out a particular song in general. But yeah, I love that collaboration with Alex and this dude. So it worked out. It was a good song.
I like that one a lot. That one caught me off guard the first time it just popped up randomly, and I was like, "Oh, okay, what is this?"
Right. So okay, cool. So all in all, I think we did a good job there, sir.
Yeah.
Maybe put one else up. Okay. So all right, cool. So before we end the episode, we're going to try something a little bit different this time around, going into the new, I guess, quote unquote season of the podcast. We're going to conclude the episode with what we like to call our after playlist replay scale, where we kind of give a simple rubric of how we did overall with the playlist and how we feel about it, just like a definitive, concise 3-question situation. All right. So the first question: did all the songs featured on this playlist fit the goal of the theme? Did we hit it? Do you think we were on the same page?
I think so. I strongly believe so, actually.
Yeah, I agree. On this particular playlist, I think we were in sync as far as like
locked in on this one. Yeah.
Yes, locked all the way in. Number 2, anything new we heard that we're going to listen to more, as far as like, artist, genre, or we're kind of just like, I'm good here with what was presented.
I mean, yeah, I might go back and try and listen to some more Silk. So they're apparently like to me, like a lost 90s group that I never heard of.
Yeah. Yes and no. Like, they're still prevalent. Not the correction. They made a significant impact on the genre, but they only had like maybe like 2 or 3 albums, if that.
Okay.
So that's the part that sucks. Is like they're too good, and they just didn't give us as much as we wanted from them, due to various different reasons. Key Sweat, the singer that you love, the one that whines a lot, he's the one that discovered them.
Okay. Another artist, which I've known about David Archuleta for, American Idol, blah 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 blah, right? But I've never listened to his stuff, and this was kind of like one of the first. I think I'm gonna go check him out some more, see what new stuff he's got going on. I'm pretty interested in that. Well, what about for you?
For me, I will definitely go back and check out some more Alex Isley, because I'm a fan. Yeah, not so much Niykee. I kind of feel like
I've listened to some of her other stuff, both since then and more recently, like getting ready for this episode. I kind of got curious to see what she's been doing, and it's kind of, I mean, I don't want to be mean, but it's kind of like generic white girl pop. It's kind of uninspired to an extent. That was the vibe I was getting from this song. I just like the collaboration with Migos in this particular song, because like she really didn't offer anything new. And like I said, for like the other artists on your playlist, I'm already familiar with. So, and they're already, several of them are huge. Like obviously, you're probably gonna keep listening to SZA. Like,
oh yeah, like no doubt about it. And then
no one can escape the Weeknd. Like
literally that, and totally forget. Sorry, we completely glossed over Weeknd, and I meant to get that song a shout out as well. I've heard that song before. I think it was like on his Trilogy album or something around that time when I was first trying to get into the Weeknd's music, and I was like, okay, all right, this guy's pretty cool. So yeah,
I mean that's like his. I don't know, I'm going to verify. I think that was his first album.
Yeah, I think so. It was like early on in his career.
Yeah. It was House of Balloons, which I listened to that album a lot, and I've really not listened to a lot of the Weeknd like since then. It's more, he's one of those artists that kind of like happens to me a lot of times. But I will say that album just in general has several songs that fit this playlist theme. Like that whole album, The House of Balloons is very, very sexy, sultry vibes.
Well, the Weeknd's music in general is where they call it. I don't know if they still do anymore, but around that time they kept calling it, instead of R&B, they called it PB&R music. Cause you just like kind of just get drunk and just, throw some cheap beer, and then, whatever happens. So that's when I initially became a fan of the Weeknd, and then, he blew up to perform at the Super Bowl halftime show and just went on from there. Definitely solid artist through and through. But yeah, definitely Alex Isley for sure. Definitely gonna check out some more Opia, because I'm not familiar with them. So yeah, those are the main two.
I haven't heard it, but there is a remix of Falling by Opia that apparently has like millions more views than the original. But I like the original so much, and I've been a fan of it for so long that I didn't want to color my opinion. I do plan on listening to it now that we're done with this episode, but maybe might be worth checking out. I don't know if it's a remix, or it could be probably is a totally different vibe, but thought it was worth mentioning.
Yeah. All right. And again, you're supposed to be rapid fire, but we both can't, we like yapping about music. And the third question is, will this playlist make it into our regular rotation?
Yes.
And okay. I agree.
Several, for the vast majority of your picks, are going to be added to my personal playlist I already have. So, yeah, 100%.
All right. Cool. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. Thanks for listening to our playlist and hanging out with us today. You can go to attheplaylist.com for our social media links, previous episodes, previous music playlists, etc. Don't forget to like and share this episode as well as this music playlist. It's totally free and helps support the show. And if you plan on doing anything more, you can always join our Black Giraffe community, aka our Patreon. You can go to patreon.com/blackgiraffe, or you can go to blackgiraffemade.com. Either one will take you to our Patreon page. There you can sign up for a tier or support us, make it there's a free tier, and if you want to throw a few bucks our way, that's fine. Either way, it helps keep the music streaming going as well as keeping the podcast lights on. So whatever you want to do to contribute, it's all good. we're just there to talk about music and share our creative endeavors and all that good stuff. So until next time, keep
Till
on
next
listening.
time, keep on listening, everybody. Bye.
Yeah, that's right. I said keep on listening.
You gonna take it.
You're going to take this podcast. You're going to take this. You're going to take that playlist. Whose playlist is it? Whose playlist is it? Who made this? Who made this podcast?
Black Giraffe made this.
Yeah.